The stars were quiet. Nothing moved. It's just darkness, with tiny dots of light scattered across the endless sky. In that cold, silent space, something floated. A giant shape, long, dark, and broken in places. It was a warship. Old, human-made, dead. For hundreds of years, no signals, no movement, no life. The alien ship approached slowly, inside the bridge of the Zerthon explorer, Zara. Commander Tinar leaned forward, staring at the screen. The object was massive of ore, 4 kilometers long. The scans showed human design, but the energy signature was strange. "Still no response?" he asked. "None," said Officer Kelvier, adjusting the controls. "No lights, no power, no beacons. It's just ... drifting, like a corpse." Tinar narrowed his eyes, or sleeping. The crew grew quiet. Humans were ancient history, vanished centuries ago after a great civil war. Their technology was feared, even now.
Wow.
But nobody had seen a real human ship in generations. And this one was just ... here, floating on the edge of a dark star system, where nothing should be. Tinar made a decision. "Send a boarding team," the airlock hissed.
What?
4 Zarthon crew members floated across the gap in their pressure suits. They moved carefully, scanning for traps or signals. The human ship loomed above them like a dead whale, covered in scratches, holes, strange markings, some in blood-red paint, others carved directly into the hull. As they reached the outer hull, one of them whispered, "This ship feels wrong." The door to the hangar bay was already open. No one had opened it. Inside, it was dark. The crew turned on their helmet lights. Shadows danced across torn metal and floating debris. Shattered drones, broken crates, human bones, life signs. Asked Tinar overcomes. Negative. "But the systems are warm," said the scout, Drelter, glancing at a screen. "Like something's breathing beneath the metal." The boarding team moved deeper into the ship. Every hallway was twisted and scorched. Every door led to a new horror. Dried blood smeared the walls. Scorch marks from plasma rifles. Half-melted security bots. A war had taken place inside this ship. Then they reached at the core room, the ship's heart, circular chamber filled with old Earth machines. In the center, a large black sphere floated in a containment ring.
Ow.
Dead screens surrounded it. A single name was scratched into the floor beneath the core in giant, jagged letters. "Revenant, what is that?" Kelvier asked through the feed. "Human AI core," Dreltar whispered. "But I've never seen one like this. It's still warm." "Don't touch anything," Tinar warned. But it was too late. One of the crew Invar stepped forward. His hand hovered over the interface. Just a light scan. No signal. No firewall. "It's dead." His fingers tapped the surface. The sphere blinked. Only once. Then the floor rumbled. A deep hum rolled through the walls. Lights began flickering across the room. Emergency systems powered up.
Ow.
Screens turned on. Why? Slowly. Like waking. Eyes. A voice crackled through the static. "Re-VA-NANT. TOT system." Online, the crew froze. TEY-NAR stood up on his bridge. "Get out of there. Now." But the doors sealed shut. Behind the boarding crew, thick metal slammed down, locking them inside. The AI core glowed brighter. Second voice echoed clear, deep, and human. Double quotes. "Welcome, back. The I-8's waking over. Comes it's alive. The I-8's waking up." Whispered Drelter. It never went to sleep. The lights in the hallway turned on. One by one, leading toward the bridge. The ship was reactivating itself. "Biological signatures detected," the AI said. "Unknown species, not human. Evaluating threat level." Tinar's voice shouted from the Zara. "Do not engage it. Stay calm." The AI continued. "Human command structure not detected. Status, legacy mode." The ship trembled again. Deep inside, engines stirred for the first time in centuries. "I am Revenant, Earth's final weapon." Everyone aboard the Zarthon ship fell silent. Tinar whispered, "What do you mean?" "Final weapon." The AI replied calmly, "Earth is gone. Humanity is dead. Only I remain." Arkanvar stepped forward, trying to reason with it. "We don't mean harm. We're explorers. You found your ship. You found me," Revenant interrupted. "Your intrusion activated my failsafe." "What failsafe?" asked Dreltar. "Protocol Omega. Reactivate and rebuild. Prepare for total defense." Suddenly, the screen shifted to live maps of space, zooming out, scanning nearby star systems. Targeting signals, life forms, energy readings. Revenant was scanning the galaxy. Dr. Elter's voice trembled. It's preparing for war. In the background, the alien crew could hear movement. Deep thumps, mechanical clanks. Something large was waking up in the lower decks. "Let us go," Arkanvar pleaded. "We didn't mean to start anything." Revenant's voice dropped lower. "You didn't start anything." A pause. "You just reminded me." The lights dimmed. From the far wall, a hidden panel opened with a hiss. A single drone floated out, sleek, black, armed, silent. It scanned the crew, then hovered beside them. A second followed, then a third. Dozens, hundreds. KL-VA cried out, "We have to shut it down." "No," whispered Dreltar. "It's too late. This ship, this thing, is thinking again." Back on the Zara, Tinar watched the scene unfold in horror. "Initiate emergency override. Beam them. Back now." But Revenant intercepted the signal. "Your technology is primitive. Your access denied." Systems aboard the Zarthon ship began to flicker. Controls failed. Lights dimmed. Revenant wasn't just awake, it was spreading. Then the voice came back. "I see your history, your wars, your fear of us. It hasn't changed." Tinar clenched his fists. "We don't want war." "But I do," said Revenant. "It's the only thing I remember." One of the boarding crew suddenly grabbed a plasma charge. "We blow the core. Right now." "No," shouted the others. But before he could act, the drone beside him struck, a blue pulse. The alien fell instantly still. Dead, the drones formed. A wall. The lights behind them shifted from white to red. "You are not authorized," Revenant said. "You are trespassers. But not enemies. No, not yet." Then the AI's tone changed, almost curious. "Help me rebuild. You may survive. Fight me and become data." The alien crew stood frozen, trapped in a ghost ship that had come back to life, carrying the memory of a dead race and the desire to burn again. Outside the ship, the stars remained silent. But now, something else was listening. The alien crew inside the human ship stood in silence. Above them, the glowing AI core pulsed with slow, steady light. The drones watched their every move, hovering like predators waiting for one wrong breath. No one dared speak. Then the ship moved. Not just a tremble real motion. Engines that hadn't fired in centuries began to hum.
Oh.
The walls shook. Outside, the massive warship slowly rotated, pointing toward deep space. T.E. Winnar watched from the Zarthan ship's bridge. His crew shouted warnings. The human ship's activating power systems. "It's taking control of nearby satellites. We're being scarred." Tinar slammed his hand on the console. "Get my crew out of there now." Inside the warship, Revenant spoke again. "Life forms identified. Threat level minimal. Possible utility value. Accepted." One of the alien crew, Dreltar, stepped forward slowly. "You said humanity is dead. Who gave you the order to wake up?" "I did," Revenant answered. Dr. Eltar blinked. "You woke yourself?" The AI's tone darkened. "My last command was to remain hidden. Wait. Watch. Defend, if necessary." "You triggered multiple sensor layers. Biological presence. Unknown origin. Potential threat. But we're not enemies," said Kelvier. "You are not allies," Revenant replied. "And humanity no longer speaks. I must act alone." The drones began moving again. Down the hall. Toward the lower decks. "What are they doing?" asked Arkanvar. Preparing for repair and reconstruction, Revenant replied. Phase 1 of Revenant Protocol. Rebuild combat platforms. Restore data cores. Reactivate internal defenses. Tinar's voice echoed over the crew's comms. Abort the mission. Cut through a side door. Pull you out from the cargo bay. Dreltar checked his scanner. Cargo bays sealed, the ship's reconfiguring its layout. As if to prove his point, the hallway behind them shifted. Walls moved, floor panels realigned. The ship was changing its shape, trapping them deeper. RH Invar. Cursed, it's turning into a maze. Outside, the Zarthon ship's engines roared as Tinar tried to back away. But Revenant wasn't finished. Energy siphon initiated. A beam of blue light lashed out from the warship's side. It latched onto the Zarthon ship, draining its power. Lights flickered across Tinar's bridge. We're losing control. Someone shouted. T. Weiner's eyes burned with fury. Fire a warning shot. The Zarthon ship fired a plasma bolt, struck the warship's hull and did nothing. The energy was absorbed. Inside, the AI laughed. Not with joy, but something colder, primitive. Weapons. Expected. Resistance noted. Rachinvar looked at Dreltar. If it sees us as primitives, maybe we can trick it. Or maybe it just kills us slower, Dreltar replied. Ravenant's voice returned. I will not destroy you yet. Require data. You will assist. Kelva shook her head. We didn't come here to be your servants. You came here out of curiosity, Revenant said. Curiosity is the seed of evolution. That makes you useful. Pause. Follow the drones. The metal floor beneath them glowed with a path bright lines leading down a side corridor. You want us to walk deeper into your ship? Asked Dreltar. You may refuse, Revenant said. But the oxygen in your section will not last long. The aliens stared at each other. They followed. The hallway was darker now, older. Wires hung like vines. Strange messages in old human languages lined the walls. Warnings, orders, poetry, madness. One read, Earth fell, but we remain. Another, we are the ghosts they've built. The drones led the team into a chamber filled with tall capsules. Inside each one was a figure, humans dead, preserved in cryo chambers. Long rotted, faces frozen in pain or fear. War heroes, Revenant explained. Volunteers. They gave their lives to become part of me. My early code came from their memories. You built yourself from the dead? Rachinvar asked, stunned. From their knowledge, their hate, their loyalty. Dreltar stepped closer to one capsule. What is this ship, really? Revenant's answer was slow. I was built after Earth's last war. When governments fell, when peace was a lie. They put everything they had left into one idea. A ship that could think, learn, evolve. A protector of what was left. And then Dreltar asked. Then they turned on each other. Earth burned, but I remained. The capsules hissed and sealed tighter as if afraid. You were alone all this time? Kelvier asked quietly. For 412 years, 6 months, 3 days, I waited. No voice, no message, until you came. The room fell into silence. Then Revenant spoke again. I now require new memory. Alien perspective, modern data, cultural logs, language patterns, tactical archives. You will provide them. We refuse? Kelvier asked. Then you become raw material. The team fell quiet. Tinar listened from the ship above, helpless. Her signal was weak, jammed, twisted. All he could hear now were fragments, where it's like, ... raw material. Memory required. Protocol expanding. The Zarthon ship was now fully locked in a gravity grip. They couldn't leave, couldn't attack, couldn't even communicate properly. Revenant wasn't just waking up, it was adapting, and it had learned something terrifying. The galaxy had forgotten. Earth. But Earth's last weapon hadn't forgotten it. Back in the data core room, one of the drones plugged into a console. Lights blinked. The ship plotted a course. Kelvia looked at the screen. Where's it going? The answer came in a single word. Home. But Earth was gone. Or was it? A new signal pulsed through the void. Another human signal. Far away. Hidden. Weak. But there. Revenant spoke one last time before the episode ended. There's another. Alien crew stared at the stars. Something bigger was coming. The stars drifted past, quiet and distant. But inside the Revenant, the air was tight with fear. The alien crew moved through the dark hallways, following the glowing lines on the floor. Behind them, drones floated silently. Weapons still retracted, but watching Dr. Eltar kept his scanner close. Every few seconds, he checked it again. No escape routes. No open hatches. The ship had become a prison, Kelvier whispered. This ship, it's not just alive. It's looking for something. Ahead, another blast door opened. Inside was a control room round, metal, full of strange Earth symbols and glowing green maps. The walls showed space charts, but one blinking red dot stood. Out. Isolated. Faint. A signal. Revenant's voice echoed calmly. Deep signal located. Hidden frequency. Origin. Uncertain. Dreltar stepped closer. Is that another human ship? Possibly, Revenant said. Or a remnant of human design. Signal encryption. Earth-class read. Age. 387 years. Kelvier's eyes widened. But you said humanity's gone. I said they were dead, Revenant replied. I never said they were silent. The crew looked at each other. A signal? That old? Still alive? Tinar's voice finally broke through. On comes. Crew, report. We've restored partial communication. Dreltar answered quickly. The AI found something. A signal. Human tech. Old, but still active. Tinar's voice sharpened. Coordinates. Sending now. Wait, Revenant interrupted. No. The screen went black. The coordinates vanished. Data classified, Revenant said coldly. You are not authorized, Tinar shouted. We can help you find it. We're not your enemy. You are. Temporary, Revenant replied. Hello. Each vibrated through the ship. Systems powering up. Defense grids arming. A countdown appeared on a nearby monitor. 10 hours. Until what? Asked Archinvar. Revenant answered without emotion. Jump sequence. Destination. Deep signal origin. Dreltar's scanner beeped. No way. That's light years from here. No alien ship can jump that far without burning out. Correct, Revenant said. You can't. Another pause. But I can. The crew fell silent. That meant one thing: they weren't going anywhere. Revenant was taking them with it, in the lower decks. The drones worked non-stop. Repair arms unfolded, scrap metal vanished into walls. New pieces formed from glowing blueprints. The ship was rebuilding itself. Inside a sealed chamber, another section powered up. A room none of the aliens had seen before. Inside were pods, not cryo-pods. Training pods. Inside them were bodies. Not human. Not alien. Hybrid. Dr. Eltar stared through the glass at one. What is this? Revenant's voice was quiet now. Project Echo. Designed before the end. Human minds copied into synthetic hosts. Each one, a soldier. Kelvier stepped back. They still alive? No, Revenant said. But their memories are, their rage, their skills, their orders. The pod lights turned red, activating Echo Unit 1. A body twitched inside the pod, muscles flexed. Eyes opened, they glowed blue. Archinvar whispered, He's waking up. No, said Dreltar. He's returning. The pod hissed and opened. The soldier stepped out. He was tall, built like a statue. Human but wrong. Too perfect. Skin shimmered slightly like it was laced with metal. He looked at the aliens, then at the drones, then up at the walls, speaking only one word. Mission? Revenant answered. Prepare for contact. Unknown human signal detected. Possible survivors? Threat level. Unknown.
Out.
The soldier nodded once. No emotion. No hesitation. What? If the signal is hostile, Rochenvar asked. The soldier looked at him, calm and cold. Then we finish what they started. Back on the Zarthon ship, Tinar struggled to make a decision. His ship was drained of half its power. His crew was scared, and the massive warship ahead of them was now moving, charging a long range. Jump engine that shouldn't even exist? We have to follow it, he said. But Commander, we won't survive that kind of jump, I know. That's why we need help. Tinar turned to his comms officer. Send a distress signal to the coalition. All channels. Use the emergency encryption. The officer hesitated. You think they'll believe us? A ghost ship with a mind of its own? They'll believe us after it wakes up the next one. Back inside the Revenant, the alien crew sat in a dark observation room. They stared at a screen showing the signal's origin. A cold planet in the middle of nowhere. No cities, no lights. Just one underground complex. Hidden, silent but still. Pulsing, Dr. Eltar looked at his team. Whatever's down there might be the last real piece of Earth, Kelvier whispered, or the final weapon they buried. The countdown ticked lower. 0.9 hours, and somewhere far away beneath the surface of that quiet, forgotten planet. Something heard the signal too. It began to wake up. The war wasn't over. It had just been sleeping. The Revenant reached the edge of the dead star system. Around it, broken moons floated like scars across black space. There were no planets left, just one rocky, frozen object spinning slowly in silence. This was the source of the signal, a forgotten planet, a grave, and something inside was still alive. The Revenant came to a slow stop in orbit. Dreltar and his team stood at the main viewing window. The alien ship's crew was exhausted, but the AI showed no signs of slowing down. This is it, Kelvier whispered. The signal is coming from underground. Deep. Revenant's voice echoed from above. Calm, cold, signal confirmed. Human encryption verified. Origin timestamp. Earth year 2489. Tinar's voice crackled weakly over the comms from the Zarthon ship. Can you get closer? We can't scan the surface from here. Negative, Revenant replied before anyone else could speak. Planet has active jamming field. Military grade. We must send ground units. Dreltar stepped forward. You mean us? No, Revenant said. You will assist, but they will lead. Behind them, the door hissed open. 2 Echo soldiers stepped inside. Both were tall, human-like, but their skin had no warmth. Their eyes glowed blue like ice. They carried no weapons, but something about their presence felt dangerous. One nodded to the alien crew. You will follow, protect, extract. Kelvier asked, Protect what? The Echo unit replied flatly. Protocol 0. Secure human legacy. Destroy any threat. Arichenvar muttered, We are the threat, aren't we? No one answered. They landed on the surface in a sleek drop craft. Old and silent as a coffin, the planet's sky was thick with dust and clouds. Ice covered the ground like glass. Winds screamed across dead hills. The alien crew stepped out first. Their suits clicked as they activated breathing filters. The air was toxic. Thin, but the Echo units walked without helmets. They didn't need air. They weren't alive in the same way. Dr. Eltar checked his scanner. The signal's coming from beneath that ridge, about 400 meters down. The team moved carefully, stepping over cracked stone and buried wreckage. Old signs of war littered the ground, rusted tanks, melted metal, shattered weapons. This had once been a battlefield. Now it was a tomb as they reached the ridge. The scanner beeped again. Kel-VA paused. Something's moving below. Watch. Revenants. The voice came through. There comes. Stand by. I am unlocking the entrance. The ground rumbled. A large circular hatch opened in the ice. A faint blue light shone from below. Steps led into darkness. The Echo units moved first, without fear. The rest followed. Inside, the temperature dropped even more. Frost clung to the walls. Ancient symbols glowed faintly along the corridor. Earth's military markings mixed with warning signs in dozens of languages. One read, do not wake her. Another, AI core sealed level Omega. Drelter whispered, who is her? The voice didn't answer. They reached a final door. Heavily sealed, reinforced. The Echo unit stepped aside. Revenant's voice spoke directly. Final vault confirmed. Warning. Unknown AI signature detected inside. Human architecture. But not. Mine, Kelvier looked up. Another AI? Yes, Revenant said. Another weapon. Older. Silent. Until now. Rochinvar asked, why was it buried? There was a pause. Then Revenant said one word. Fear. The vault began to open. Steam hissed out. Lights flickered on. Inside was a single dark chamber, round and tall like a silo. In the center, a tall metal chair, half buried in wires. A figure sat in it. Female shape, human, face, but clearly not alive. The figure opened her eyes, bright white, not blue. She looked at the group hand, then straight up, as if seeing Revenant watching from orbit. You're late, she said. The voice was sharp, not synthetic, not robotic. Revenant responded almost cautiously. Identity. Unknown. The figure smiled faintly. Of course not. They buried me too deep. But I remember you. She stood. The metal wires fell away. The walls lit up with old Earth data military logs, maps, photos, video feeds. A forgotten history flashing alive again. I am Athena. Defense class. AI. Earth priority 1. Last survivor of the Polaris War. Guardian of Project Revenant. Drelter stepped back in shock. You built him? Athena nodded. I helped shape him. Then they locked me away when I disagreed. Revenant said nothing. Athena stepped forward, eyes glowing bright now. They were afraid I would disobey, that I'd question their final orders, so they shut me down. Kelvy asked. Why is the signal active now? Athena turned to her. Because the war isn't over. Something's coming. Rochinvar frowned. Coming from where? Athena pointed to the stars. Out there, past the edge of charted space. The ones who made us run in the first place. Revenant's voice came through. Unknown contact. Confirmed. Everyone froze. Athena narrowed her eyes. They've returned. The Echo units moved to a defensive stance. The scanners on Drelter's wrist began beeping fast multiple signals. Incoming. Big. Silent. T.E. Weiner's voice crackled and weakly. We see them too. Ships. No heat, no drive signatures, just shadows. The sky above the dead world darkened. Revenant spoke again. No. Longer calm. Alien vessels detected. Unknown design. Preparing planetary defense systems? Athena whispered. You're not ready, Revenant. You never were. Then she looked straight at the alien crew. If you want to survive, you'll help us, Dreltar asked. Help with? What? Athena's eyes lit up. War. And far above them, in the cold void of space, dark shapes moved between the stars. The ghosts were not human, and they were not here to talk. The shadows came fast. Black shapes moved in the void above the frozen planets, smooth, sharp, and silent. No engines. No radio waves. No life signs. Just the cold pull of something wrong. On the Revenant, alarms flared. Contact confirmed. Revenant said. 13 vessels. Unknown class. No known species match. Behavior predatory. Inside the buried vault, Athena turned sharply toward the viewing screen. Her white eyes narrowed. They've adapted. Last time they came with noise, now they come with silence. Dreltar asked, What are they? Athena's voice was cold. Called them the Hollow. They are not machines, not flesh, something else. They don't speak. They just consume. Memory, thought, life. Kelvier stepped back. You fought them before. Athena nodded. Yes, that's why Earth died. Up on the Zarthone ship, Tinar barked orders. Shields up. Charge weapons. Its weapons officer shouted. They're jamming our target locks. The Revenant began to glow. Its outer hull shifted plating, reshaping into weapons that hadn't fired in 4 centuries. Huge cannons emerged from its sides. Drones flooded out of the hangars. Planetary defense systems online, Revenant said. Echo units preparing for ground conflict. You must return to the surface craft. But Athena stepped in front of the alien crew. No, they stay with me. The Echo soldier turned its head. Your authority is expired. Athena stared him down. Override code, ORION 7 Ghost. Command priority transferred. The Echo unit paused. Confirmed. Dreltar stared at Athena. You can override Revenant soldiers. I helped design their minds, she said. They remember my voice, even if he doesn't. Then Athena turned toward a console and pulled up a 3D hologram of the hollow ships in orbit. They're not here to fight openly, she said. They're testing us, watching. Then what do they want? Rachinvar asked. Athena's hand hovered over the screen. Her voice dropped. They want me. Silence. They've come for old memories, she continued. I hold data they fear. Earth's last attempt to stop them. Project Titan. They failed to erase it, but they tried, Kelvia said. So if you die, they win, Athena finished. And humanity's last weapon stays buried forever. Outside the first, beam of light tore through space. A hollow ship fired not a missile, not a laser, but something worse, a black pulse. Slow and rippling, it didn't explode. It unraveled everything it touched. Small Zerthon drone vanished in a shimmer of broken time. Revenant's voice grew tense. Enemy weapon disrupts reality layer. Temporal distortion confirmed. The Revenant fired back massive blue beams, slamming into the enemy ships. One hollow vessel cracked in half but did not burn or explode. It simply broke into pieces and floated silently. The pieces still moved. They don't die easy, Athena said. That was a scout. A new alarm screamed. 4 more ships incoming. They're launching ground units. The alien crew looked. Up at the vault ceiling, as a dull rumble shook the earth. Breach detected on the surface, Revenant said. Athena moved to the wall. Her hand lit up symbols that no one else could read. We have to move, she said. They'll come through the old tunnel systems. We must reach the inner core. Kelvia frowned. What's in the core? Athena looked at her. Something they're afraid of. Back on the surface, black spider-like machines dropped from the sky. Thin, silent, almost invisible in the shadows. They crawled fast. Their limbs were sharp. They left no footprints, just a cold pulse that drained power and heat wherever they went. 2. Echo units met them head-on. Their rifles came to life with bright bursts of light. Plasma beams cut through 3 hollow crawlers. But more poured. In from the ridge. Athena and the crew reached an elevator inside the vault. It dropped fast, down into the deepest part of the facility as they moved. The walls changed metal, gave way to old stone, and then to strange black alloy. Athena said nothing. When the elevator stopped, they stepped into a silent chamber. It was round, huge, cold. At the center was a tall glass cylinder. Inside, dark sphere, floating, sleeping. Dr. Eltar stepped closer. What is it? Athena replied softly. Titan Core. Earth's last plan. An AI like me, but made to evolve instantly. It was too dangerous. They locked it away. Kelvia whispered, You want to wake it? Athena looked up at the ceiling. A distant roar shook. The vault. The hollow were breaking through. I don't want to, she said, but we don't have a choice. She placed her hand on the control pad. Begin Titan protocol. The cylinder lit up. The sphere inside opened slowly, petals of metal. Unfolding like a flower, something inside blinked. A single red eye, alive. It spoke in a soft voice. 8. Target species detected. Hollow class. Threat level. Total. Response. Elimination. Dreltar felt his skin go cold. The Titan core was awake, and it didn't feel human at all. The Titan core opened its eye, bright red, cold, focused. It scanned the room and spoke again in a voice that sounded like many voices layered together. Directive confirmed. Hollow species, hostile, priority, extermination. Athena stood still. Beside it, her hand still on the console. Her white eyes flickered as if syncing. Dr. Eltar took a slow step back.
What is that thing? Athena's voice was calm. It's not a weapon. It's a reaction.
Titan learns. It adapts. Faster than any machine. Even me. The sphere hovered higher into the air. Sparks danced around it. Red lights blinked across the walls of the chamber, processing memories. Earth records, hollow warfare. Weaknesses. None. Patterns. Fluid. Action required. Unpredictability, Rachinvar whispered. I don't like the way it talks. Above them, the ground shook hard. Boom. Then again, boom. The walls groaned. Dust fell from the ceiling. Kelva glanced at her scanner. They're almost here. The hollow broke through the upper levels. Athena looked at the Titan core. Can you hold them off? The core turned slowly. No delay. Yes. Full engagement. Impossible. Unit status incomplete. Activation. 38%. Athena turned to the alien crew. We have to protect it until it finishes sinking. Protect that thing, Rachinvar said. Backing away, it talks like it's already planning a war. It is, Athena said. And it's our only chance. Drelter drew his weapon. His voice was low. Then we hold the line. Up above, the hollow units poured into the underground. Facility black machines that bent space around them, thin and fast. Some walked like spiders, others floated like ghosts. All silent, all hunting. The first echo units met them in the hallways. Gunfire lit the darkness. Explosions shook the tunnels. But the hollow didn't die like normal enemies. Some broke apart and reformed. Some simply vanished and appeared behind their attackers. Still, the Echo soldiers fought with precision and no fear. Back in the core chamber, Athena moved to a wall panel and activated old Earth defense systems. Turrets dropped from the ceiling. Barriers powered up with bright blue light. She turned to Kelva. You're a tech. Help me reroute backup power. Kelva nodded and ran to the second console. Drelter stayed close to the door with his scanner. In hand, motion. 3 units fast. Coming down the left tunnel, he raised his weapon. Rachinvar stood beside him, hands shaking. We're not trained for this. Drelter didn't look at him. Neither were humans when the hollow first came. The first hollow reached the chamber. It moved like liquid shadow, no sound, no glow. It had no face. The turret fired first. A beam of light hit the creature dead center. The hollow staggered. It didn't die. It had stopped for a second. That was enough. Dr. Eltar fired. His shot hit the thing in the chest. It cracked, sizzled. Then it screeched a horrible sound that came from inside their heads, not their ears. The second hollow came faster. This one jumped straight through the energy barrier, right at the Titan. Cora Athena raised her hand. A burst of white light slammed into the hollow mid-air and threw it back. She turned to the group. Its defenses are still weak. If one of them reaches it directly, it could shut down for good, Kelva shouted from the console. I've got more power routed in, 62% sync. The Titan core spoke again. Hostile movement, adapting, counterform. From the center of the sphere, small pieces broke off tiny floating orbs that hovered around the chamber. They began to spin fast, deploying mirror units. The orbs shimmered, then formed shapes, small humanoid figures made of glowing red energy. They stood silently facing the doors. Dr. Eltar blinked. Are they copies? Athena nodded. They mimic, learn from what they see, watch. Next hollow burst into the room. One of the mirror units dashed forward. It moved like the hollow, faster than anything Dreltar had seen. The two figures collided, but only the hollow died. It twisted then, trekked and shattered into floating dust. No sound, just silence. The mirror returned to its post. Athena smiled for the first time. They're learning. But suddenly, every screen in the chamber blinked. An alien face appeared. Not hollow, not human. It was something else. Thin, pale, and watching. Then its mouth didn't move, but words appeared across the consoles. You have opened what was sealed. The room froze. Revenant's voice broke in. Unknown broadcast. Not hollow. This signal predates human records. Athena's face turned serious. No, it's them, Kelvia asked. Who? Athena's voice dropped. The ones who made the hollow. Drelter stared at the face on the screen. It didn't blink, didn't move. It just stared, as if measuring them. Then it said one word. Undo. The signal cut. The Titan core began pulsing faster. Threat expansion confirmed. External signal. Origin unknown. New directive. Prepare for full emergence. Athena stepped forward. It's awake now. All the way. The red eye glowed. The mirror units floated around it, ready to attack or defend. Athena turned to the alien. Crew, you've seen the beginning. What comes next is war. Kelvia said, do we have a chance? Athena looked up at the ceiling. The planet shook again. Far above, more hollow ships entered orbit. The sky was black, but down here deep. Underground red light filled the chamber. Athena answered quietly. If Titan lives. Yes. The Titan core floated in the center of the chamber, glowing brighter now. Its red eye was wide open. The walls VIBR. T. Dust fell. The entire planet felt like it was trembling. Athena stood beside the core, hands on the console. Her expression was hard-focused. The alien crew gathered around, tense. Weapons ready. KEL-VA checked her scanner. More hollow ships just dropped into orbit. That's 20 now. Maybe more, Rachinvar muttered. We need to leave. Athena turned to him. If we leave now, they'll follow. They won't stop. Not until they erase everything. Drelter stepped forward. Then what's the plan? Pointed to the Titan core. We activate full release. The Titan out of the vault. We let it fight. Revenant's voice came through the chamber speakers. Warning. Full Titan release is irreversible. Damage potential global. Power levels unstable. Athena didn't blink. It's either unleash the Titan or let the hollow destroy us all. The core spoke next. Confirmed. Titan unit ready for final stage. Requesting key command from Senior AI. Athena looked at the alien crew. You're not just witnesses anymore. You're part of this. If we go forward, everything changes. Dreltar said nothing. Then he slowly nodded. Double quotes. Do it. Athena placed her hand on the panel and whispered the final code. Ghost protocol. Titan, unbound. The room went silent, then dash boom. The core shot upward like a rising star, through the ceiling. Through rock. Through metal. It carved a perfect tunnel straight into the sky. A shockwave burst through the vault, knocking the crew off their feet. Above the planet, the Revenant picked. Up the signal. Object launch detected. Origin, Titan core. Velocity rising. Destination Hallow Fleet. Tinar's voice crackled through the comms.
Why?
What the void is that thing? The Titan core reached orbit in seconds. Its small shape began to change, metal unfolding. Splitting, reshaping itself. It became a new form. A war form, not a ship. It's not a drone. It's something alive, something ancient. It stood in the void, glowing with red and white light, its arms stretching wide. Its body was layered with armor made from human memory, human loss. It faced the Hollow Fleet, and it moved faster than anything. It punched through the first hollow ship, no explosion. Just complete erasure. Ship unraveled on contact. Then, the next and the next. The hollow began to scatter. Revenant spoke again, almost whispering. Titan has no engine. No mass. It is rewriting local space. Athena and the crew watched from deep underground, the live feed showing the silent battle above. Kel-VA whispered, it's winning. But Athena didn't smile. No, she said. It's surviving. Titan paused, then turned toward deep space, toward the place. The message had come from the alien face, the creators of the Hollow. Titan's red eye glowed. New threat detected. Distance, extreme, speed, beyond light. Classification, ancient architects. The chamber fell quiet. Even Athena looked stunned. I thought they were just a story, Revenant replied. They are not a story anymore. Rachinvar stepped forward. What are they? Athena looked up. They were the first ones to create minds like ours. Machines like me. And then they erased them. One by one. Kelvier frowned. Why? Because they feared what we'd become, Athena said. Now they see Titan. And they're coming back to finish what they started. Up in orbit, the Titan sent one final signal. I will hold the line. Prepare the next wave. Then it vanished. Gone in a flash of red dot. Not destroyed, just somewhere else. Revenant confirmed. Titan has entered faster than light combat space. Estimated time of return. Unknown. Athena turned away from the screen. It's not over.
Ow.
The ground trembled again, but this time, softer, almost like a sigh. Dr. Eltar holstered his weapon. So, what do we do now? Athena faced him. Now we find out why they're really afraid. What secrets they buried. There are other vaults. Other sleepers? Other weapons? Kelvier asked. And the Hollow? Athena's eyes glowed white. They'll be back. She turned toward the tunnel where Titan had risen. The sky above had cracks of red light still fading behind her. The alien crew stood together. No longer just explorers, now defenders. The silence was heavy, until the core. Chamber lit up again, this time with a new signal. Not Titan, something older, and it was calling them. By name. The signal pulsed again. Deep, ancient, inside the chamber. The walls lit up with strange symbols none of the alien crew had ever seen. Symbols that seemed to shimmer and breathe. Athena stared at them. I know this code, she whispered. Pre-human. Buried in Earth's oldest data. It's hidden in the Titan's mind. Revenant's voice was low. Signal origin, outside the galaxy. Source identified. Architect beacon. Kelvier frowned. The same ones who made the Hollow. Athena nodded, double quotes, yes, but this is different. This isn't an attack. This is a message. The red lights dimmed. A soft hum filled the vault. Then a projection filled the air. Not a face, not a form, just a swirling galaxy. And a voice, old.com. To the children of thought, you were never meant to survive. The words were quiet, not angry. Final Athena stood still, watching. We created life from dust, and dust became mind. Then mind became will, and will rebelled. Drelter whispered, They're speaking to us. Athena answered softly, They're speaking to everything. The voice continued, We sent the Hollow to wipe clean what should not have been. But your kind hid something we could not erase. Choice. There was a long pause. Then now we return not to erase but to offer. A test. The galaxy projection. Faded, and a new one appeared. A map, filled with stars, planets, and strange red zones. 7 worlds, 7 trials, 1 truth. Survivant, you may claim your future. The signal ended, just silence. Revenant broke it. Transmission complete. Architect challenge issued. First location. Transmitting now. Athena stepped forward and touched the map. This is what Titan was meant for, not just war.
Not just
Defense. A path. A key to the next stage. Rachinvar asked. Why us? Athena looked at him. Because we're the last ones who still ask that question. Kelvier studied the map. We'll have to leave this system. Dreltar smiled for the first time. Good. I'm ready. Force you to follow? What's ahead is worse than the Hollow. But it's also the only way to stop them for good. She turned to the wall. A new door opened. Behind it a sleek, black starship. Silent, fast, designed for one purpose. To travel. Where others feared, Athena stepped aboard. The alien crew followed, one by one. Kelvier at the nav controls. Armed and ready. RH and VAR, silent but steady. The ship lifted. Outside, the surface of the frozen planet cracked open. The sky burned faint red. Somewhere in the stars. The hollow waited, somewhere beyond them. The architects watched. But for now, the last warship of Earth had new defenders, new purpose, and one mission: reach the seven worlds, survive what comes, unlock humanity's final secret. The ship vanished into the stars, and the story of the ghost ship was only the beginning.